Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to INE's CCIE Data Center V2 Advanced Technology Series. In our continuation today, we're going to be focusing on some advanced features and functionality of virtual port channel, mainly talking about what are the different ways that the vPC can fail, and then how can we design around potential problems to make sure that when the vPC does fail, that it recovers in a manner where we can still forward traffic to whatever end host that we're trying to attach to. And then a little bit later, we'll start our discussion of fabric extenders, which we'll see is going to be fairly short. There's not really that much involved directly with the extenders. What we're mainly going to focus on is the vPC variations, virtual port channel, combining with the fabric extenders at the same time. So there were a couple questions here before we get started. Excuse me, that one was related to dynamic routing across the PureLink. We will talk about that with vPC today. It is going to be a problem case depending on what particular hardware that you're using. So on the Nexus 7K, they did solve this issue in the newest code release on the F3 line card. But if you're doing it on the 5K or any of the older hardware, F2E, M2, etc., then you cannot use the PureLink for routing adjacencies. We'll talk about why that is a problem case, though, and then what are the workarounds. The other question was, how does the Nexus platform separate the control data and management plane traffic? How does LACP, which disables spanning tree on the port channel in order to forward, differ from vPC? What is under the hood of vPC? So we'll talk about more the kind of the in-depth details of vPC today and what the system is really doing behind the scenes. What we talked about yesterday really is kind of a precursor to our discussion today, though, is that we need to understand just how does the basic variation work as the correct design, and then we'll look at what are the problem cases and talk about why those are potential issues. Okay, so otherwise, as usual, as you guys have questions throughout the day, feel free to just type them in there. And then if I don't get to them during the individual session, just copy and paste them back in when we get to Q&A, and then I'll make sure to try to get to everybody's questions as we work through our topics today. Okay, so otherwise, let's go ahead and get started on our first section.